Via Rail is another example of a government organization rewarding itself for failures. Via Rail handed out bonuses, pay raises, and lavish executive pay during the pandemic as it lost hundreds of millions of dollars and as it took a big fat taxpayer bailout. Via gave its employees bonuses and pay raises to the tune of $14.7 million in 2020 and 2021. Now that's when taxpayers in the private sector lost their job or their businesses. According to Via's own 2021 annual report, its executives are paid a range between $270,000 and $482,000, and that pay range is going up. While Via was handing out bonuses, raises, and lavish executive pay, it was also taking a taxpayer bailout. The federal government approved a $187 million bailout for Via to help it cope with pandemic losses and its ongoing deficits. That last point is important because Via has been hemorrhaging money for years. Via lost $370 million in 2021 and $415 million in 2020. Over 5 years, Via lost about $1.6 billion. Over those same 5 years, Via took about $2.5 billion from taxpayers. Now, do you think Via deserves all this extra taxpayer cash or bonuses or pay raises or lavish executive pay? Well, unfortunately for taxpayers, Via isn't the only crown corporation that has been rewarding itself for failure. The Bank of Canada handed out $45 million in bonuses and raises during the pandemic, and as inflation took off, the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation handed out nearly $60 million in bonuses and raises in 2020 and 2021. That's when Canadians couldn't afford homes. Destination Canada handed out bonuses and raises while the industry it is supposed to market, the tourism sector, was locked down. The CBC handed out $51 million in bonuses and raises during the pandemic. Then the Trudeau government recently turned around and gave the CBC an extra $42 million to cope with the pandemic. Now, I can't believe I have to say this, but bonuses and pay raises are for when you do a good job. And these crown corporations have not been doing a good job. So it's time for government organizations to stop rewarding themselves for failures with our tax dollars.